Thanks for streaming King's Country, kingscountry.net. That's Vince Gill. I'm Jim King of the radio and TV. Don't miss my TV extravaganza this weekend. We're closing in on a magnificent milestone, episode number 1,000, just 2 episodes away, so do the math. 998 this week. It's an entertainment extravaganza, as always. We'll tell you more about it in just a little bit. We're going to zoom off to Nashville shortly, so stay with me for that. We're going to talk to rising country singer, songwriter, and actor Jet Juergensmeyer and debut his new song called Red. That's coming up in just a few moments. But straight ahead, another King's Classic clip tidbit. Yeah, right here, exclusively.
King of the Road.
Backstage with the legendary Johnny Bush.
Johnny Bush, great to see you in Winnie, Texas. You know, it's great.
Well, you're the real king of the road, huh? I thought all this time Roger Miller was.
Well, I'm self-proclaimed. Actually, I started my little King of the Road shtick when I was working not too far from Roger Miller's hometown of Eric, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about, I've been doing this 15, been wearing a silly head around for 15 years, calling myself the King of the Road, but
I'll accept that.
It's all about you today. It's Johnny Bush, the legend, from Houston originally, so you're not too far from your stomping grounds.
Right. When I was about 17 years old, I worked at the oil fields around here. We worked a well over here in Winnie Stowell, they call it then. And then the Spindletop over there in Beaumont, I guess it would be toward Port Arthur. We drilled the first storage well for the Sun Company, where we drilled down and washed out a big cavern, and they stored butane. And to my knowledge, the old Lucas Gusher, there's a monument there now.
Yeah.
But when I was working there, it was a dirty old, stinky, sulfur-smelling oil field, you know, and I loved it.
So you started off your teenage years working in the oil field. When did the music come along?
Well, all this time I had it in my soul, and we used to stop at a coffee shop there in Beaumont on the way out to the rig. And I started hearing this fellow called Lefty Frizzell.
Yeah.
And I said, that's what I want to do. And we'd be out there on that floor, and that north wind would be blowing. We're pulling wet strings of pipe. And I told the floor hand, I said, I'm not going to do this the rest of my life. He said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to be like Lefty Frizzell. He said, yeah, right. Well, at that time, I didn't know it. Lefty Frizzell was living in Beaumont.
And that's another King's Classic clip featuring the late, great Johnny Bush. They broke the mold when they made him. And thanks for streaming King's Country.
She thinks I still care.
Double the power, more and better classic hits for you without the static.
Can only go up from here. I still T-R-O-U-B-L-E. Nowhere bound. I'm just a traveler.
You can have it all. The best of country music anywhere, anytime with King's Country.
King of the Road.
Backstage with legendary blue-eyed soulman Gigi Shin.
Gigi Shin, of course, is known to all the legends from Southeast Texas, including Janis Joplin. And I think it was you that told me a funny story one time about her at the Big Oak. Something about beer?
Yeah, the Frog?
Yeah.
On my way from, I was coming from Franklin to go to a gig at the Big Oak Club. Franklin's way down in South Louisiana. And it was a back road situation before the interstate. But when I turned the corner one day at a red light, I noticed this big old frog was laying on the side. So I ran over there and I picked that frog up, put a string around his waist. So when I walked in the Big Old Club, that big old frog was jumping in front of me. I'll never forget this. So we're on the bandstand and there's a banister. And everybody would stand on the banister, right there in front of the banister, too, including Janis. And they put their pitchers of beer on the bar rail there. So I had this frog on a string, and I picked the frog up and put it in Janis's beer upside down. His feet are sticking out like that. She takes the frog, and pulls it out of a beer and puts it on the floor and drinks the beer. Everybody went, oh, she didn't drink that beer. Yes, she did.
Ooh, yuck! Just like the dirt, one day we're all gonna be covered in. Heart in the chest, screams on the cross.
Howdy, folks. Jim King of the TV and radio here. He's back for his third time. Jet Juergensmeyer got this great new video called We All Bleed Red. Great song. Congratulations, man. I can't wait to play it in just a few minutes.
Thank you so much. This song has been everything I hoped it would be for everybody that's heard it. So I'm very, very thankful for what it's done.
You know, it has a feel to me. I was trying to think of the artist that reminded me of it. Luke Combs a little bit. Sounds Luke Combs-ish, I think.
I take that as a huge compliment. I'm a huge Luke fan. Cody Johnson was a big inspiration for it. And then, you know, just my own personal beliefs and feelings that just kind of came out into the lyrics of the song.
You look pretty natural in the video doing all those farm chores. Did you have to practice, or is that your real lifestyle?
No, that was pretty normal. Obviously, things have to be a little extrapolated for the fact that it's a music video.
Right.
But for the people that don't know, my family has a 3,000-acre cattle ranch in Missouri. Okay. So that's pretty normal for me. Moving bales is pretty common, and especially the fishing. I love to fish.
So you got a lot on your plate. You're going to school, I'm assuming, full-time.
Yes, sir.
Plus these videos you're putting out and the music, and you're an actor.
Yes, sir.
A lot of stuff.
It's busy, but it's kind of what I've done it is what I've done my whole life. So I'm more used to being busy and not having unbooked days on my calendar than I am having booked days on my calendar. So I like being on the road. That's what we did all summer. I was constantly gone. I think I spent more nights in hotel rooms than I did my own bed. So I'm definitely used to being gone and keeping my schedule full, because that's just kind of where I seem to thrive the most.
Well, tell us something else about writing this song. Where did the idea come from?
So I had the idea kind of on the way to the right, because I always plan ahead. So I had the idea on the way, and I was thinking, you know, there's a lot of division in the world. There's a lot of people that are angry at other people, and simply because they have different viewpoints than you. We've seen a lot of that very recently.
Yeah.
And I was kind of just angry. I was kind of pissed off. I was like, I don't care how you pray, who you vote for. All that matters is each and every one of us bleeds red. We're all human. We go through the same stuff each and every day. Right. And so I'm a huge Cody Johnson fan, and obviously his song Human has that kind of same aspect in it. And I brought it to my two friends, Erica and Kaylee, and I told them what I just said to you, and I was like, there's something about the word red, and there's something about how everybody bleeds red, whether that be Jesus and whether that be you and me. We're all sinners. We're all people that make mistakes. And I'm glad I took it to both of them, because they're both very visual people when it comes to their lyrics. And so they kind of ran with it, and before you knew it, we had a song that we all fell in love with and that used the word red in every way possible. And I'm super, super proud of it. I love the message of the song, the way I get to perform it with my band when we do it on the road, and thanking our veterans, thanking our first responders, and the people that make it possible for me to able to pursue music for a living. This song has been everything that I hoped it would be, and everything that I didn't realize it was going to be.
Here comes Simba entertainment recording artist Jet Juergensmeyer with Red as our Jackson Hill Park and Marina music clip of the week, straight from Nashville. Thanks for streaming King's Country at kingscountry.net. Jim King of the Road, trying to keep it between the ditches on this TGIF edition. Musically speaking, we're all green lights and blue skies on the way with Conway Twitty. How about some Casey Chestnut? Yeah, he doesn't fall far from the tree. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Mark Chestnut's son, he's on the way. King George Strait, and I'm just Jim King. Thanks for riding shotgun today.
We went out last night.
King's Country, kingscountry.net. In case you hadn't heard, I got married on September 20th. First marriage in my life. Love it. I love Suzanne Simmons, and she's our number one fan of King's Country. Good afternoon, Suzanne. Thanks for tuning in on this TGIF edition. Hey, speaking of weddings, Lainey Wilson's wedding is going to be epic and possibly very expensive. But apparently the biggest hurdle is the guest list. Still waiting for my invitation, Lainey. Lainey's known for being such a nice person that she didn't want to leave anyone out. The way I left out certain people at my wedding. I'm not quite that nice. We didn't want any drama or no toxicity in our wedding. So certain people were left out. Anyway, here is Lainey talking about her relationship during a live show and going into her song, Yesterday, All Day, Every Day. Check this out.
So your girl got engaged at the top of the year, getting married. But I got a love story, and I know a lot of y'all here tonight got a love story too. And I'm going to share mine. It goes like this. It's called Yesterday, All Day, Every Day. Yesterday, all day, every day. Stuck in a loop like Concertone. No top on. Take a ride, want a chain. 24 more you loving on. I scared Christmas and the 4th of July. They cross off the rest of the calendar I take. Yesterday, all day, every day. All of you for the rest of my life.
Kindness of a small town southern man.
Thanks for streaming King's Country, kingscountry.net, and I hope you'll watch, too. Yeah, episode number 998 of the Jim King of the TV show, set to air several more times in Southeast Texas on Fox 4, the CW, Strike TV, plus YouTube. It's already posted on YouTube. Don't tell anybody, but you can watch the entire episode on YouTube right now. Just keep that between me and you. Commercial free. Well, actually, there are some commercials in there, but I'll have the individual segments posted tomorrow sometime. Check it out. We're going to kick it out with a couple of classics. T. Graham Brown and T.G. Shepherd. A couple of T.G.'s coming up. Captured live by yours truly in King of the Road Productions at Honky Tonk, Texas. Home of the Honky Tonk, Texas fabulous flashback. Plus, we jet off to check out Jet Juergensmeyer. We zoom off to Nashville. You heard that a little bit earlier if you were with us. You heard the audio anyway. Catch the version with Moving Pictures this weekend. We close it out with our own John Cisak. He's from Vidor, Texas. He's a good one. Check it out. And we got some more audio samples coming up on King's Country. Thanks for being here.
Howdy! We're just so proud to be here. This is Minnie Pearl from Hollis, and all of you tune in and listen to King of the Road.
In each other's arms. King of the Road.
Backstage in Beaumont with Mo Bandy.
Well, thank you. It's good to be here. By the way, I haven't been in Beaumont in a long time, and what are y'all putting in the water around here that these great singers? We got singers coming from everywhere now.
Well, you didn't grow up too far from here. You spent a lot of your time in San Antonio, originally from Mississippi, but moved to San Antonio when you were a young kid. And
that's right.
When you were in Mississippi, you actually, I think it was your grandfather, worked with Jimmy Rogers on the railroad.
That's right. My grandfather was a railroad man. He worked on the railroad with Jimmy Rogers, and I started out listening. I guess the first country music I ever heard was Jimmy Rogers. And but we moved to San Antonio, and I've lived there all my life, actually. But now I'm living in Branson, Missouri. We have a show up there, and we have a great time.
I even did a little rodeo back in the high school days, didn't you, there in San Antonio?
I did. I rode bulls and bareback broncs in the sport of rodeo for several years. And my brother had a great career in bull riding, Mike Bandy. And we were raised around. My dad had bucking bulls, and we had Bandy's Arena there in San Antonio. And a lot of the kids started out riding there, including my brother. And I was riding bulls and bareback horses and playing music under a big oak tree.
Exclusive with Mo Bandy on the King of the Road radio show.
King of the Road.
Thanks for streaming King's Country, kingscountry.net. Jim King of the radio behind the wheel. Stay with me. Another audio sample from the TV show coming up, an exclusive with T.G. Shepherd. He talks about his 16-year relationship with the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. That's on the way on King's Country. Stay right there.
Like my mama told me one time, Elvis, listen to Jim King and King of the Road. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mama.
Thanks again for streaming King's Country at kingscountry.net. Here comes that audio sample as promised. Episode number 998 of the Jim King of the TV show airs this weekend, several more times on Fox 4, the CW, Strike TV, and don't tell anybody once again, but you can watch the entire episode right now at my YouTube channel, Jim King of the TV and Radio YouTube channel. Closing it out this week, it's our own John Cisak. He's back in the big king chair in the royal spotlight. The throne, as it were. We'll also zoom off to Nashville to talk to Jet Juergensmeyer and debut his new song called Red. We'll kick it off with T. Graham Brown at Honky Tonk, Texas, and follow it up with this cat, T.G. Shepherd at Honky Tonk, Texas. Here's your audio sample, no extra charge.
I'm so glad to be here because I almost had to cancel this show 3 days ago. Let me tell you, because you're going to be reading about this in all the tabloids in the next week or 10 days. But 3 days ago, I got up, and I hadn't been horseback riding in several years. So I told my wife, I said, baby, I think I'm going to go out and ride. So I went out, and I picked out an incredible horse, jumped up on this sucker. And it'd been a while since I'd been on a horse, and he got away from me. Threw me really, really bad. I mean, really bad. But what the baddest part was that my foot hung in the stirrup, and it was dragging me down, just dragging me, and God sent me this angel. I swear to you, this guy came out of nowhere, ran over to me, reached down, and unplugged the machine. Yeah, it was a quarter horse. And today he's 40 years old, going on 20. Don't look for the gray in his hair, 'cause he ain't got any. He's got a young thing beside him who just melts in his hands. Yeah, he's middle-aged crazy, trying to prove he still can.
I think it's really cool that you knew Elvis Presley. I'm standing next to a guy that knew Elvis. You've probably been to his home in Memphis.
I lived at Graceland for 7 years.
Did you really?
I sure did. Yeah.
Was he still alive then? Or?
Oh, no, he was, very much so. I met Elvis when I was 15 years old at a skating rink. He took me under his arm, and we became friends. And matter of fact, he gave me my first tour bus. Just wrote a check.
1976.
Hey, you've done your homework. And matter of fact, there's a song on my new album that I've done that is kind of an anthem, and it's a song called "The Day Elvis Died," and it's going to be a great record, I think. But no, I did a concert at Graceland back in July, and I'm scheduled to do another concert at Graceland this coming August. So, yeah, those were great years with Elvis.
What kind of guy was he?
Well, I asked him one day, I said, Elvis, how does it feel to be you? He said, you crazy? Feels great. He was just a guy like you or me, Jim, or anybody that's watching this. There was no ego. He was very down to earth, very engaging. When he would talk to you, he would drill you right in. He's the kind of guy when he talked to you, he looked you in the eye. He didn't do this, he looked at you.
And listened.
Yeah, and listened, and he heard what you said. So, I can only tell you that all the years I spent with him, which was 16 years as a friend, one of my closest friends, I knew that each and every time that I was sitting down with him one-on-one through the years, I knew that I was sitting in the presence of greatness, and I drank it all in. I remember every moment.
Yeah. Imagine you were pretty sad when he passed.
It was tough. You know, I had just left Graceland the night before and saw him a few hours before he passed. And it was a very, I don't know, I think sometimes I'm still in denial a little bit, like a lot of people are, because when you're that big and you die, it scares the heck out of you, because then you realize if someone like that can pass, you can too. So it scares you. It's a wake-up call about living life every day to the fullest.
King of the Road. Don't miss the show this weekend on Fox 4, the CW Strike TV. And again, it's at YouTube right now, the entire episode. But keep that between me and you. And keep it on King's Country for the most magnificent country music mix on the planet 24/7 and 365. Welcome to another TGIF.
There ain't nothing for you back there.
Thomas Rhett on King's Country, kingscountry.net. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. When I first started off in country music, his dad was a big star. He had some pretty major hits in the 90s. Rhett Akins, remember him? Well, Thomas Rhett decided not to use their name Akins because he wanted to do it on his own. He's actually, I would say, surpassed his dad in terms of success. Nice guy, though, Rhett Akins. I got to meet him a couple of times. Well, that does it for the Jim King of the Radio show for today. The TV rolls on all weekend long. Fox 4, the CW, Strike TV, and YouTube. And if you're out and about tomorrow, maybe I'll see you at Rogers Park in Beaumont from 3 to 8 tomorrow afternoon. They got a little shindig, Oktoberfest. I've been going there for a long time. I'm going to show up and rock my Crown Boy hat for a while. It's live music and beer. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hope to see you there. Keep it between the ditches. Have a good one. Coming up next, another King's Classic clip. Later, Gators.
Long live the king!
King of the Road.
On rising country star Glenn Templeton's tour bus.
Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only take the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go.
You did 10 gigs opening up for the Possum.
Somewhere around there, yeah. I got, one of the highlights of my career was being able to get on the stage with George Jones and sing Rockin' Chair.
Yeah. One of the highlights of my radio career is he called me one time. He was coming to Beaumont to play with Merle Haggard, yeah.
Jim, this is George Jones. How are you?
Hey, George, how are you, man?
Well, we're doing pretty good for an old man.
It sounded like he'd been drinking, but he told me he had quit. Nancy was with him, so...
Yeah, well, the drinking days were over. That whole Nancy, she really was a genuine great woman. I got to hang out and spend some good quality time with he and she on some of those tours. And she was just a very, very, just a classic lady.
Oh, thank you.
Country's my way.
King of the Road.